For some, the existence of Splatoon 3 is going to be a difficult one to understand. So much of what makes it a better game than any of its predecessors are small, under-the-hood changes that, to the untrained eye, it might be at risk of being accused of having a new campaign slapped on, a few new modes, then put out again for another 10 million copies to sell for Nintendo. But there's a lot more going on here, and Splatoon 3 ultimately feels like a culmination of all of the previous workings and ideas from the team into one big live service title that Nintendo can really get behind and push. Let's start with the most obvious thing that needed changing, the news reports. Now, when the map rotations happen, Splatoon 3 will load you back into the place you were already in and offer a news report, but once you've clicked the left stick in once, it's always going to push it into the top left corner of the screen and allow you to just go about your business. You can choose to switch focus to it if you want, should you be nostalgic for forced, unskippable cutscenes for some reason, but this is a small change that is actually testament to the developer listening and actioning on fan requests. Likewise, Salmon Run not only returned, but is playable whenever you feel like it and not just in private matches either. Salmon Run Next Wave is a fully unlocked mode you can just decide to play, and this seems like I'm damning it with faint praise, but it's something that needed to happen, and has, and brings the game properly into the modern era. In fact, aside from Anarchy Battle, the replacement for ranked mode, needing players to be at level 10 to access, nothing else is really locked off from the get-go. You have to hit level 4 to access some shops and other modes, but that's part of the tutorializing of the overall world, and you'll do this quickly given matches in Turf War are just 3 minutes a pop. That said, Splatoon is still a strange series that'll be alien to most shooter fans, because here the reward for taking an opponent out is merely just a little bit more territory control. The idea is you need to paint the floor with ink and end the match with more territory inked than the bad guys on the other team. Because if you lose, the level XP reward is much lower. I'd actually argue the progression here does need a little bit of a tweak, because if you get into a losing streak or are playing without your regular crew, as you get closer to level 10 and beyond, you're going to struggle to level up regularly. Throughout the single-player campaign, there are hidden food tickets which can be redeemed in multiplayer for double XP or extra money rewards, and the XP ones feel almost essential. Lasting for 10 matches or so, with a good performance and a lot of wins, I rocketed up the levels, so completing the single-player before you get too into the multiplayer is a good shout. I still get the feeling Nintendo don't want you to play for hours on end though, because the double map offering for each section of the day still feels like it could do with a third map in the rotation, and playing that same map 3 times on the trot does wear thin sometimes. The new weapon classes, the Splatana and Stringer, are both exciting, but it's far too early in the meta of Splatoon 3 to know if they will become useful over time. So far, I've actually seen very few people using them compared to the old favourites on offer, and it's not because they take a while to unlock, as they're easily unlockable within an hour if you play a bit of Turf War. The Splatana just seems too weak at anything other than very close range, and the Stringer seems a bit slow and cumbersome compared to the faster paced weapons, but time will tell on the new additions of course. The ability to save replays, share them online and even change the camera angle is a lovely addition to multiplayer though overall. Over in the new campaign, what you've got is a few islands to explore and unlock kettles, or levels to you and I, and there are plenty of non-essential levels to play. While the main missions tend to showcase ideas that will serve the multiplayer gameplay better, the optional kettles showcase more of what Octo Expansion did for Splatoon 2. Here there are timed runs, target practice, and all manners of challenges of varying degrees of difficulty, though nothing about Splatoon 3's campaign is overly taxing at any point. You'll get eggs for completing a level, with the option to play them again with different loadouts for a reduced reward. Using your new companion Small Fry, a salmonid with a strange power, you can unlock more progress and remove furry barriers that are littered across each map. I won't go into spoilers here, but there is a heavy dose of collectible lore found throughout the map that suggests the world of Splatoon has a darker past than you might think. I never thought I'd care about lore in a game like this, but it's quite interesting to see what the backstory for the bizarre creatures in this universe is all about. The single player is enjoyable though, and quite moreish thanks to the uncovering of the map and secrets to find throughout. Salmon Run is as great as ever, though in truth, adding a few new boss salmonids and the ability to throw the golden eggs to the basket don't really amount to huge changes for the mode, and I would like to see more maps added pretty quickly. Table Turf Battle offers a Tetris-like take on the Splatoon concept, with cards again found throughout the single player to add to your collection. It's fun, but not life-changing, and it's a nice distraction. Customization aplenty returns, with a locker you can decorate for other players to view online. There are so many small additions or changes that it's kind of hard to list them all here, but it just makes for a better game overall. Practice rooms for Salmon Run, Turf War, and even local battles bring it more up to date and just make it friendlier for all to play. Splatoon 3 may not be everyone's most exciting release in the calendar, but it is the best the series has been. A plethora of tweaks to the formula mean it's accessible, and there's no nonsense to slow you down and stop you playing. A successful single-player campaign is met with multiplayer fun that is unmatched by any other game for how unique and fun it is, and a massive amount of weapons means you won't be getting bored anytime soon. Splatoon 3 is a rip-roaring success then, and is perhaps the game that fans wanted all along, which is why we're giving it a 9 out of 10. Hey, Adam from GodIsAGeek.com here. Thank you for watching the video review of my written review of Splatoon 3. Really enjoyed it when I previewed it, and I did hope that it would end up, sticking the landing, and it did. It's great. I've played all of the Splatoon games and all the DLC, and this is, like I say, the culmination of everything, with all these little tweaks that just really make you happy and think they're listening. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, do click subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss another one. Make sure you follow us on all our social media at GodIsAGeek. Do go to patreon.com/GodIsAGeek and find out about our supporters club there, where you can join our Discord and have a chat with us and maybe play some Splatoon, just play some Salmon Run. Let's play some Salmon Run together. Go and have a look at that. Patreon.com/GodIsAGeek. And thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.